All right, we're back. Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show on Pegasus NetWaves, taking your health to a higher level. And today is huge, big day. You have no idea who's in this studio with me today. It's a very large national organization. You might have heard of them. You'll hear all about them the rest of the show. But we're going to start off with health in the news, and of course talking about a few things relevant to me right quick. So if you haven't, go to clintfuquay.com. Check out all the cool new stuff on there. I've got a 4-step method for getting you healthy on there. Do all 4 steps. It's pretty easy. ClintsPrograms.com, so you can see all the very quick action stuff to get done right now with some of my health partners. And PersonalHealthCareReform.com. And get with me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I am all over the place. In fact, if you're looking for a trainer, I just happened to do a little thing with Find Fitness Pros. I'm on there too. Pretty cool account. I got some other cool stuff coming up too with some other apps that'll happen this fall. But before we get into that, my health partners. MedCall Assist is turning into MedCall Pro. We're going to bring them back on the show this fall. We're going to talk about all their cool new stuff that's going on, how they're helping out families, reducing healthcare costs, healthcare expenditures. And you're going to want to hear that show because of everything that's going on with healthcare, as you'll find out with Health in the News very soon. Human, helping unite mankind and nutrition, helping me help the corporate world get their people healthy. If you love goldfish, you can have your goldfish and eat them too, okay? And stay healthy, because we're looking at organic, non-GMO goldfish and the good stuff. So, you can try and contact with me on that for getting in contact with them. And speaking of food, Icon Meals. I can't say enough about this company. Great group. They're here in Dallas. They ship everywhere in the U.S. Customized meals for whatever your dietary needs are, wants and needs. They will fix it specifically for you, for your needs, ship it to you. It stays fresh for a week. With their new packaging, it'll be 2 weeks, but no preservatives, none of that other junk. An expert chef is making everything. Phenomenal chef from the Omni here in Dallas. So phenomenal meals. So if you have diabetes or anything like that, this is the group you want to contact for your meals. You really do. And of course, Kinesi. I am all Kinesi'd out today. I'm head to toe in Kinesi right now. It's summertime. It's hot out there. Okay, this is the best stuff you're ever going to wear in the summertime and the winter and the fall and everywhere else. It's phenomenal. The active cotton, I can't say enough about it. And the more you wash it, the better it gets. It's seriously, I love this stuff. I'm ready for the new. They have new stuff coming out in the fall. Brand new cool stuff coming out in the fall. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot more stylish. I mean, it's pretty stylish now, but it's going to be even more stylish. And I have a new health partner. Ding, ding, ding. Ulta Health Labs. Actually, Ulta Health Lab Tests. Just signed a little deal with them. So, if you need some testing done, whether it's urinalysis or blood draw or anything like that, you want to get medical tests done, go to clintfuquay.com. or PersonalHealthCareReform.com. Click on the Ulta Labs link on there. You're going to get 20 to 80% off any and all medical testing. Okay, 2,500 locations around the U.S. You don't have to go through your insurance. You can if you want to, and no doctors to deal with. You go in, they do the blood draw. They send the stuff in. They send your results back. You can talk to a medical professional on the phone about all your results. You can have everything sent to your doctor. They're HIPAA compliant. Phenomenal. I'm going to have their CEO on here probably in 1 or 2 shows after this. So listen into that, because we're going to talk about the entire health and medical industry as far as all that stuff goes for the medical testing. Fantastic guy. I had a great conversation with him. And of course, ID Life. ID Life, awesome, cool stuff. We got a huge national convention coming up very soon. And if you haven't heard, we are in partnership with American Heart Association, NASA, and all kinds of other great people. Seriously, if you have not taken that free health assessment, it's time. It's past time. It's way past time. We've been around now for 18 months, okay? You need to go on there. Take it. Seriously, this is made for doctors to go in the doctor's office. That's how great this thing is. You will not realize how awesome the system is until you go through the system. And, of course, great products. If you got diabetes or heart disease, anything like that, check our stuff out. You really should, especially our bars. The bars are fantastic. And last but not least, Healthy Home Company, because we want to take all the toxins out of your life, out of your house, out of your home, out of your purses, out of your cars, out of everything, so you can live a nice, healthy life. You don't have any kind of toxic exposure in your life, which is, go take the toxic test. It's on my website. So we are now health in the news. We're going to run through this. There's tons of stuff to talk about. I'm just going to hit these. Go to my Facebook page. You'll see every story there. Investigate it, look at it, go through all the links, okay, because they're all there. So ACA news. We'll start off with this. Blue Cross Blue Shields of Texas in 2016 are killing PPOs. Bye-bye PPOs. It's going to be HMO only. Anybody remember HMOs? You remember how great and fantastic those were? That's right. That's going to be your only option. Why? Because Blue Cross Blue Shields lost $400 million. Yeah, $400 million in the last year. They lost $400 million in payouts on our PPO system, thanks to a little piece of legislation called the ACA. Also, there's going to be a lot of consolidation. So there used to be 5 huge health insurers. There's about to be 3 large health insurers coming in 2016. So Anthem is buying Cigna. Aetna is buying Humana. That means we're now going to have Anthem, Aetna, and United Health Systems. That's it. Those are the 3 insurers that are going to be left. So, yeah, choice is going away very quickly because those 3 are going to turn into 2. Just hearing it right now. Also, 7.5 million people fined $200 on average in the first year of penalties for the ACA. How much is that in tax revenue? I'll let you break out your calculator. Add that up. And that's just the first figure. Prices are going up this next year, people. Those penalties are going to get a lot bigger by year 3. And there'll be a lot more people penalized. So, yeah, if you didn't know it was all about the taxes, it's all about the taxes. It's all about the Benjamins. Okay, and the Dark Act, which is not the name of this thing that just passed through the House, but they're calling it the Dark Act because it's keeping the shade as far as GMO labeling. Basically, this thing passes, you're not going to know if there's any GMOs in anything. It's also going to alter organic labeling and everything else. There will be no third-party certifications of anything. So that little non-GMO project thing that you see on a lot of labels right now, that's going to go away because it won't matter anymore. So think of this as like part 2 of the TPP, which is the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is a horrible trade deal that got rammed through. Thank you. To some good news, sort of. Okay, insecticides have been shown to impair brain development of children. It's summertime. You're spraying all the insecticides. Find some better stuff. Might I suggest Healthy Home Company? We've got some pretty cool stuff on there for that. Okay, and bug sprays and everything like that we have for your family. Phenomenal, and they're not going to affect your children. Red wine, green tea, and fruit extracts. You know what they all have in common? They're all now clinically being used for cancer treatment. Yeah, so for years they're telling us this stuff doesn't work. What are they using now clinically? Red wine, green tea, fruit extracts to help protect your body whenever they're doing all the stuff with radiation and chemo and everything else. And some cool new stuff. New eye drop being developed for healing cataracts. So you drop it in your eye, cataracts go away. Phenomenal stuff. It's actually in final phase of testing for the FDA. This is one of those times where I love medicine because stuff like that is cool. It works. And for the blind people out there, I've got a friend of mine, Diane Rose, the amazing quilter. Go check her out online, especially Christmas is coming up. If you want a special quilt made by one of the most incredible women in the world, go to her website, Diane Rose, the amazing quilter. Look her up, have her do a quilt for you, something like that. She's phenomenal. She's completely blind, okay? She's phenomenal. Anyway, there are some new glasses for the blind from Orcam glasses. They actually read what they see. So you point at something, it reads it off to you. So if you're blind or vision impaired, if you have a book, you can just point at everything in the book, and it'll read it back to you. You can point at a door. It'll read everything on the door to you. Awesome stuff. They are still developing things. It's still in development. It's not perfect yet, but that company is doing some awesome stuff. So I wanted to throw that out there. And lastly, a soda a day brings diabetes to you. This is both regular and diet. This is proven, said and done from science. A Coke a day will cause type 2 diabetes and often lead into insulin-dependent diabetes. Okay, both regular and diet, both of them will do this to you, okay? The regular just works faster. And let's see here. Food order. Food order actually aids in blood sugar regulation. So basically you want protein and fiber first. You start off with those, then you add everything else in afterwards. Helps out with conversion, keeps blood sugar nice and stable. And lastly, last thing I'm going to talk about today, which is a really important thing right now, since there's a lot of race stuff going on right now if you haven't listened to the news. So race and social status impact diabetes greatly, okay, especially in Black, Hispanic, and Native American communities. And if you're looking at socioeconomic levels, anybody on the lower level has a much, much, much higher rate of diabetes issues because of malnutrition, no matter how much you eat. It is a malnutrition issue, it's a vitamin D issue, and a lot of other stuff. So basically the thing here is to, if you want to improve things, you got to start improving yourself. That's the big piece there. So that is health in the news. That's all the cool stuff there. Get ready. I have the American Diabetes Association in the studio with me today. I've got their director for North Texas here. We're going to do some big stuff the rest of the fall. So definitely listen into the show. It's going to be fantastic. And go to clintfuqua.com, clintsburgers.com, personalhealthcarereform.com. Hit me up on all my social media stuff. Send in questions, comments, whatever. I'm always here to talk. That's it. We'll be right back.
Great results are the key to business success, and great vision is the key to everything. Hi, everybody. I'm John Carroll, the founder and CEO of Trace Coaching Services. We work primarily with solopreneurs and small business owners to move beyond their vision in a balanced way. If you want to learn more about how our coaching programs can help your business move to the next level, contact me at www.tracecoach.com or at 817-562-4240. Again, I'm John Carroll with Trace Coaching Services, when results matter most.
Hi, this is Bob Brown. I'm president of the LSU Alumni Association here in the Dallas area, and we'd like for you to join us. LSUalumnidallas.com. Come see what we're up to. We are providing scholarships to students from the DFW area to attend the wonderful University of LSU. We have lots of information on that website. We would love to have you join us. LSUalumnidallas.com.
All right, we are back. Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show on Pegasus Netwaves, taking your health to a higher level. And I have. This is a huge show. This is a big honor for me, actually. So I've got the American Diabetes Association of North Texas in here. I've got their director, Quin with me, and so we are going to be talking about the ADA, give you some good background on the ADA, where it started and everything else, and go through it and how they're helping out the community, because this is a huge thing in diabetes. If you haven't heard, is a very big issue right now. It's a huge issue, along with obesity. They're kind of tied together. So, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff the rest of the fall as well. So let's start off. Quin, thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I wanted to give everybody a little background on the American Diabetes Association,
Sure.
Because it's good to know where things came from and how they got started and everything else. Mm-hmm. So let's do a little background as far as when the ADA was started, what the mission is.
Yeah, the ADA was started actually in 1940. This year we're celebrating our 75th anniversary. But it started as a medical professional association in 1940. And then in 1970 it expanded membership to include all health professionals in addition to the public. But we're the leading national health organization, nonprofit organization that is battling diabetes, not only in this country but in the world. And in Dallas, or North Texas, we've had a chapter in organization here since 1973.
Wow!
So we've been active in the Dallas area.
You've been around longer than I've been around.
And the mission of the organization, obviously, it's to prevent and cure diabetes and improve the lives of all those affected by diabetes. So that's a little bit about the how the organization started.
I want to talk a little bit about funds, how you raise funds, how they're used, because there was a story last month ago about a couple of different nonprofits, charities that were abusing their position. We'll be nice about it. They were abusing their position. They were bringing funds in, not really using them for funding research, stuff like that. So everybody wants to be careful where their money's going to and who they're supporting and everything else. So I wanted to get a little background on the fundraising, how you do that, where the funds go as far as education, research, and things like that, so people can feel good about what they're doing.
Sure,
and
absolutely. Well, we feel good as an organization that 84% of all the dollars that are raised for the association go towards our mission. And our mission involves research, education, information, and advocacy on behalf of those people who have diabetes. So we feel real good about that. Obviously, research is a big part of what we do. Mm-hmm. And here in Dallas, we're fortunate because the association funds this past year over $2.5 million in research at the University of Texas Southwestern, which is a wonderful facility.
That place is awesome.
It really is. And Dr. Philip Scherer, who is over the diabetes research group at UT Southwestern, was just recognized by our organization with our top scientific award, the Banting Award, at our scientific and medical sessions in June. So, they do wonderful work there, and so that's a big part of what we do, obviously, is research and, trying to determine, what it is that causes diabetes and aiding with research as far as complications are concerned. And this sort of thing.
I know a lot of the research that people will see, especially the most recent research that's been released as far as diabetes and management and stuff like that, has actually been coming out of UT Southwestern here in Dallas. I mean, it's that place for research is they are one of the top places in the U.S. for research.
They are. They're recognized as a top research facility, not only with diabetes, but with other things as well, other diseases as well, right? As an organization, we spent over $35 million last year on research, and as I mentioned to you, over $2.5 million came to UT Southwestern. Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Yeah. And I want to give everybody a little bit of education as far as what is diabetes specifically, because you'll see in the news most people are affected by it at some point, either themselves or within their family. But just to give a very good overview of specifically what is diabetes, some different variations and needs for them, because there are, and then we'll get into some complications.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. You're not going to meet too many people who don't know someone who has diabetes, or it is an epidemic. And diabetes really it's a group of diseases in which the body does not produce or properly use insulin. Mm-hmm. And insulin, of course, is a hormone that converts sugar, starches into energy. And so if it's not converting insulin properly, the body suffers, and the major organs particularly suffer as a result. And the cause of diabetes still remains a mystery. That's why the need for additional research. But we feel like both genetics and environmental factors, do play roles. But not converting sugar into energy properly, again, results in these major organs, heart, liver, eyes, suffering over time due to this lack of energy. And there's two types of diabetes. There's type 1 diabetes, which is an autoimmune disease, where the body just basically quits producing insulin. And for the most part, type 1 is diagnosed in people early in life. Okay.
Yeah, and that's usually at birth or shortly thereafter.
Right, and they have to take insulin. All right, there's a daily insulin regimen in which they have to abide by. Now, type 2, that's where the real epidemic lies. 90 to 95% of all diabetes is type 2 diabetes, and that is a metabolic disorder, basically resulting in the body's inability to produce insulin, or if the insulin is produced, to use it properly. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, and it's associated primarily with those who are older, have a family history of diabetes, maybe a prior history of gestational diabetes, and that's, of course, women who are pregnant sometimes will become diabetic.
Because there's a major hormone change over there.
Right, and after the child is born, many of them are no longer have diabetes, but they're at risk of developing diabetes later. So those are the two major kinds of of diabetes. But what's interesting is that type 2 diabetes used to be labeled adult onset diabetes. We toss that label out years ago because you're starting to see younger and younger people being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes,
and a lot of fatty liver disease too.
Right. So it's a big problem, and there's the symptoms. I can talk a little bit about the symptoms of diabetes if you'd like. With type 1, frequent urination, unusual thirst, extreme hunger, unusual weight loss, extreme fatigue, kind of connected with type 1. Now, type 2, you can see some of the same symptoms of type 1, but a lot of times people with type 2 will have frequent infections that don't heal, blurred vision, a tingling or numbness in their extremities.
Yep, a little neuropathy.
Yeah, neuropathy, absolutely. Recurring gum problems, bladder problems, symptoms of type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
And there's complications, obviously.
Yeah,
complications, heart disease, kidney
tons.
disease. I mean, diabetes is the cause of non-traumatic amputations, blindness. Again, these major organs that are being impacted.
Yeah. If your body can't take in nutrients, then your body can't do anything with them.
Right.
It stores them. It stores and stores and stores and stores and stores because it can't do anything else.
It's not using them properly.
Yeah.
Right.
So, of course, we know there's lots of complications. There's a lot of health issues. There's a few things, especially I want to look at North Texas specifically since we're here. Even though the show goes out everywhere, but North Texas specifically because we're a very large, huge metroplex. But for there's some societal stuff. There's some status issues as far as different segments of the community that have greater issue with diabetes, stuff like that. I talked about that earlier in Health in the News. We're looking at African American, Hispanic, Native American populations, and usually lower on the socioeconomic scale too, mostly due to some dietary constraints and things like that.
Yeah, the African American population, the Hispanic population, or Latino population are almost twice as likely to have diabetes as. So it's a real problem with those communities, and it's one of the reasons that as an organization we've focused on outreach directed at those two population groups.
I know y'all have been doing a lot of that in Dallas.
Oh, quite a bit. In fact, we have an award-winning program that's geared at the African American population in particular. That's organized through churches in the area, and we had, I think, last year close to 500 churches participating. What's that?
I remember that. I remember reading that in the news. That was fantastic.
So it's been a fantastic program. Get out information about again the risk factors associated with diabetes, and also we work with churches who want to work with us in regards to year-round programs that for their congregation.
Well, I know there's a lot of churches now that are starting to get much deeper into just getting their congregation healthier.
Yes.
Because it's part of the thing. They're there to take care of the people in the congregation. That's a huge issue with that. And so if they're bringing in donuts every morning, they're not doing anything for the congregation. Okay, donuts will bring the people, but they're not going to help the people out. So stick with the loaves and fishes.
Yeah, we estimate that there's over we estimate that there's over 800,000 people in the North Texas area that have diabetes now. Of course, nationally it's closer to 30 million, but so it's a growing problem. We feel like it's the leading health epidemic facing this country today. When you start looking at healthcare cost and the rest of it, if we want to do something seriously about it, then we need to eradicate diabetes and certainly reduce the prevalence.
Yeah. And I know on the education side, y'all have tons of education programs which are fantastic. But you've also got a new corporate wellness program called Wellness Lives Here.
Yes, we
that y'all developed, which is fantastic. And I'm hoping to get one of the health clubs I work with involved in that as well with our corporate wellness program.
Right.
So give us just a little tidbit about that and how corporations can get involved.
Yeah, if they want, Wellness Lives Here. If you want to get information, go to wellnessliveshere.org. And if you want to get information on the American Diabetes Association and diabetes, to go to www.diabetes.org. Yeah. You can also find the Wellness Lives Here at that website as well, but we have a specific website for program, and it's a new initiative for us. And it's just a set of different programs and materials that are geared for the workplace. Okay, to educate workers about diabetes, and also to recommend activities that they can engage in, around fitness and nutrition, to allow for a healthier workplace.
Yeah, which helps, because corporations are starting to figure out that if you don't take care of your employees, you're going to have some major, substantial health costs that's going to get into the bottom line. That's no good.
Right.
Plus, a healthy employee is a much more productive, active employee, and your bottom line is a whole lot better that way.
Absolutely.
But lastly, I want to talk about one thing that's coming up, because there is a huge event coming up, the Step Out Walk, which we're going to be part of here on the radio station.
Great,
so
wonderful.
Get ready, everybody out there, tune in to Pegasus Netways, because you're going to hear the American Diabetes Association on pretty much every show on this network for the rest of the fall leading up to the Step Out Walk. We're going to have our own team put together too, so get ready for that. We're going to blast that out there. We want to get a lot of money raised for for the ADA. So if you'll just tell
the Step Out, that is one of our biggest fundraisers. And again, the programs that we talked about and the research that we talked about earlier are only made available as a result of the dollars that we raise locally through these events, not only here in Dallas but throughout the country. But we don't receive any government funding, so any of our outreach efforts are funded as a result of the support that we receive from folks in the community. But the Step Out Walk is one of our bigger events. It's scheduled for November the 7th. It will be at Quick Trip Park in Grand Prairie. We expect over 3,000 people to participate in the event. It's a lot of fun. So there's it's a wide assortment of folks that are working with us with the Step Out campaign, which again is one of our major fundraisers.
Yep, which is fantastic. So we're gonna wrap up and get out of here. I do want to let everybody know out there, you'll get to see myself and all the trainers from PhysioFit out there, because we're going to be doing the warm up and the cool down portion of that. So helping to do that and give some exercise education to everybody that's there. Otherwise, thank you for coming on. Really, thank you for coming on and being a part of this. And we want to really help get some extra people out there. Lots of virtual walkers too. You don't have to be there to walk. You can be a virtual walker. But the big thing is to help the American Diabetes Association raise some money, do a lot of good, and start cutting back on diabetes across the nation and across the world too. So, thanks for coming on.
You're right. You're very welcome. Yeah. And I'd like, if I could, just leave a couple of numbers for folks if they want to call and get more information on diabetes. If you want to get information, we have a call center that's open 5 days a week, and you can get your questions answered in regards to diabetes and direct you in the right way. That's 1-800-DIABETES. And then locally, you can call our 972-392-1181 number to get involved locally and to get information from our local office.
All right, perfect. Thank you for coming on. For everybody else out there, check that out. We'll be back later for the next show. This is going to be a fantastic fall. Get ready.
Thank you.